Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're looking at BTC. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thanks for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. And why not leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord, come check it out, it's free to join. Okay, so primarily we're still looking for the same thing here, looking for that potential to break to the upside here. We've still got to be aware of the same issues. We can still count this as a fifth wave into here, so we need to be aware that we could actually be looking for a deeper retracement as well towards this 23,580 to this 21,182. Basically, as long as we remain above this 23,896, I will be looking for the potential for a push to the upside here. If we start to lose that, basically, I would be looking for support to potentially come in towards some of these lower areas here, towards this 23,580 to this 21,182. Okay, so we were looking for that potential of having a direct breakout from here yesterday, but we actually set a new low. So there's a couple of things that can be going on here. And basically what we're looking for, is that potential to see something like this play out. So we were looking for this potentially to be the C wave low here. However, we actually came down one more time. So this either means that this correction is not completed or potentially, we completed into here. So need to be a little bit cautious of this. Potentially, we can argue, if I delete that ABC, that we could say that this is a W, this is an X wave, and then we've had a Y wave complete. But really, what we need to do now is see this move away from here. So what I'd be looking out for here is basically that potential of looking for a move up towards this 31,780. What we'd have to be aware of is if we just formed something rather than like this as an A, this vector, sorry, yeah, something like this as an ABC pattern, just a three-wave move here. Basically, this would then give us that possibility of that bigger flat. So we're going to discuss that in a second. But really, if we want to see this and continue to count this as a 1-2, we want to see this move away from here. The alternative way of looking at this move is that, potentially it's not completed and we still got another leg to the downside. So I'm going to go over that now. And that would look something like this, where we treat this move as a W. Instead of looking at the Y wave into here, we treat this as basically ABC down into this low, or WXY down into this low. This is a connector wave here, and then potentially we could be looking for another C wave down. So this is something keeping an eye on. We were right within that typical rejection area at the moment, and if we do see this move only play out as a three-wave move to the upside, because it is looking very corrective at the moment. It can develop into something else, obviously. Potentially what we could see here is something like this, where this becomes 1, 2, we form another 1, 2 here, maintain this low point here at the 26,662, and then, start to see some bigger structure develop here, something like this to the upside. Obviously, that is just speculative at the moment. At the moment, all we have is three-wave structure. And yeah, we just need to be cautious within this that we don't have another leg to the downside here where this becomes an A, B, and then looking for a C wave. So the 1-to-1 of that would actually look to bring us down towards this 26,198, and that would actually be based off of this A wave here. So sorry, that would be based off of this W wave. So let me just change the color of this so it's not so confusing. So that would be the WXY 1-to-1. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out on this. Potentially it could mean we come back into this channel again and look to actually break down one more time. And the 1-to-1 of this would actually be pretty much in the same sort of area as an A, a B, and a C. So we can see here this 26,853 to this 26,918 area could be a potential support zone that we see come in here if we do actually get another move to the downside. And that would tie in, it would be quite a deep retracement then. That's my only issue with it. Really, I wouldn't want to see it come too much lower than this 27,059, but it is still possible. We can sometimes see these deeper retracements here. But as long as we don't cross this 26,508, we could still look for this potential upside. Looking for this as a 1, looking for a 2, and then looking either for, this bigger third wave if we can get a push up towards this 31,780, or alternatively, a zigzag to the upside to this 29,946. So it's going to be important what happens off the back of this. If we want to look for that impulse, we need to maintain this 26,508. We want to find support in this zone, and then we want to start to move away. So we do have, like I said, that potential to come down one more time. So we just need to be aware of this. What I want to see here for more confirmation that this isn't in play here is actually coming back and taking some of these key highs here, like this X wave here, this 28,500, and then getting back above this high point here of the 29,184. So really we want to get away from this zone. We want to stop just moving sideways here. The longer that we do this, we need to just be cautious. This could just be a bigger corrective structure setting up, or the more bearish scenario would be that potentially, within this structure, we could be setting up. At the moment, the downside moves are just looking corrective, but it could, play out that we have something like this as a 1-2, form another 1-2 here, and then we start to break down in a much deeper way. So just going to have to be cautious of that fact. We could still see something like that play out if we just sort of continue to set these lower lows here. Basically, this is what tends to happen when we get a big move to the downside or upside. It starts to form a base where it forms a series of ones and twos, and then it starts to get moving. So just need to be aware of that fact. And basically, within that, we just need to be careful of something like this playing out. So basically, where this becomes a 1-2, then we get another move down here towards this 26,517 range, and then we see something like this where we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then potentially off of the back of that, you would have to argue that possibly we could have another 1-2 in here. So if we start to break down in a much deeper way, potentially we could see something like this play out, in which case, this would tie into the idea of still having, a bigger flat correction in this area. So where we could see a move down towards this 26,925 to this 26,264 region. So potentially coming back, retesting these bottoms here, retesting these lows possibly, or coming back into that bigger support zone here between this 26,631 to this 24,810 area. So, this is something we need to just keep an eye on here. It is possible we could be getting a sneaky little flat in here. Um, the alternative thing that we also need to be aware of here is the fact that possibly within this structure, where I'm looking at this as an a B, and then looking for the C, this could be incorrectly labeled as well. So it is possible that we could look at this rather as having an A wave into here, where this becomes W, X, and Y to the downside, and that we're still actually within this B wave move. So this is why I'm saying if we get a three-wave move to the upside here, potentially up towards this zone of this 9946, what we just need to be aware of is, we don't see something like this play out where we just get a three-wave move up here like this, then we start to break down in a bigger impulsive structure. And then we have a bigger flat correction here, A, B, and then C to the downside. In which case, if we did have that, like I said previously, it would be unlikely that it would then be the wave two for this move. It would probably be more likely that we'd have something like this, where this is a one, we'd have a bigger wave two here, and then we'd be looking for rather something, rather, the fact that within this we're forming a, sorry, rather within this we're forming a 1, coming back down for a 2, looking for that third wave to the upside if that's the case, or ultimately a bigger ABC. We don't know until it actually forms, but that's the key thing here. If we do get a flat correction here, potentially what I would be looking for as a target zone would be between this 24,672 and this 23,604. If we do come up higher here, it would adjust this slightly. But yeah, this would still be the typical zone, but we'd have to monitor the internal moves for that to play out. So the key thing to take away from this is we could actually be completed, with this internal wave too. So let me just come back in here and get rid of some of the stuff that we don't need. Get rid of those key supports. And So it is possible, like I said, potentially we've completed this wave two here, and we could start to push away. I don't want to see this get too much bigger, otherwise it doesn't really start to fit into this. It becomes quite large in comparison to this wave one then. But basically, at the moment, it's still got that possibility of this move up towards this 31,780 would be a confirmation of a third wave move. However, if we do start to push to the upside, I'd be cautious around the top of this channel, which would be this 23 29,390 range. And then obviously, this 1 to 1 area here, which would be this 29,946 region. So that would be an interesting zone. Obviously, 30K is going to be a big psychological level. So that could potentially be a zone of a reaction. Yeah. So if we do move up in an impulse, just keep an eye on these areas. It could just be a zigzag and then we break down, or alternatively, it could start to get going and we could get this bigger third wave up into these zones. If we do get a third wave up into this 31,780, what we'd be looking for would be that potential to find support again here between this 30,625 to this 29,396 region. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below. And also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. As well as that, there are affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down in the description. Both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you don't have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel. We do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.